Hi guys, today I'm gonna go through my CD collection. It shouldn't take too long because there's only I'd say 10 of them. I'm beginning to collect again just because I like physical mediums. I've been streaming for the past year and it's not really, I guess, my cup of tea. I find myself listening to singles more than complete albums. So yeah, I'm just trying to get back into collecting. I used to collect records, but it got kind of inconvenient because I was a college student back then, and just carrying crates and crates of vinyl was annoying. So I decided to choose a more portable medium. Also, CD releases are now getting cheaper, so I can buy three, four of them that I actually want for, I'd say, $10 off of Discogs. So let's get started. Alright. So, first CD I'm going to show you guys is Elliot Smith. I really like this CD. It was given to me by somebody I don't really talk to anymore. I only knew them through their SO, so not really a huge deal anyway. But yeah, I love this album. Favorite tracks are Coming Up Roses, Alphabet Town, and The White Lady Loves You More. Yeah, good stuff. I also have another Elliot Smith album, Figure 8, but I don't really listen to it. I think I just heard a bunch of bad stuff about it. It was also given to me by the same person, so I haven't bothered to read it. I haven't bothered to listen to it. Okay, next is... Wake Up with the Birds. This is by Carlo Actis Dato and Kazutoki Umezu. And I think it's just a live performance in Japan between these two. It's a jazz album. I actually picked this up from Long in the Tooth in Philly for a couple bucks. I think I didn't really know any of the artists before, but I know I like free jazz, avant-garde jazz, so just from reading the back cover I could tell that was what it was, and I really like the album cover. Now the album as a whole, I think when I'm in a more pensive listening mood I like to put it on, but if I'm just chilling, I'm not a huge fan because the sounds can be really harsh and they're also really sparse, so next is a recommendation given to me by somebody on Discogs. So I purchased one CD from this guy, and I asked him for a few recs for electronic music, which is really broad, and he recommended me this. This is Download The Eyes of Stanley Payne, and I don't know what you would categorize it as because I'm not that much of an electronic junkie, but I really love this album, but I cannot play it during the night because it's very harsh. I would characterize the sound as extremely crunchy. That's what I would say it is. And it's lots of video game noises and stuff like that. But this is I don't know if you'd call it a gatefold, whatever. And the CD is in here. It's a good one. This is kind of makes me feel like I'm racing. I have a race car and I'm drifting through the city and stuff. And it's dark, steampunk. Even the glasses. But yeah, whatever. I also have another download album. Well, I don't own it, but I have it in streaming. It's Download 3. I also enjoy that one. Okay, this one I also bought at Long in the Tooth, Jake Mandel, Parallel Processes. I think it was just the album art that drew me to it. And also just a nice matte cardboard sleeve. I I don't know how I feel about this. I did just put it on yesterday and listen to it again. I guess I don't really remember much from it. I remember a couple tracks are memorable. I think Gam Tev, which is number 9 here. And then also Untitled 44 is really good. I actually looked this guy up on the internet, and he's a practicing radiologist now. So, like, this wasn't his only thing he had going on. You should, yeah, check him out. Not much to say. I actually ordered his other album. I forget the name, but it's a Car Park release, and people were saying it was better than this one. This one is sort of like, I would put it in the background if I was studying or writing or something. Okay, so this releases William Basinski, El Camino Real, or El Camino Real, whichever way you want to say it. It's actually like an interstate in California. This is just literally the same sample on a loop for I think about an hour. I really like this for going to sleep because it really does sound like the cover. It really does. And like, I only knew William Basinski through his Disintegration tapes, which is basically like, it's a loop and that slowly disintegrates over time. So it gets played over and over and over again, but it just like loses like certain qualities as time goes by. And I like his aesthetic. Like, his choice of album covers is very, I don't know, it like really meshes with me. Like, I think the Disintegration loops or tapes, I forget which one it was called, I think that is one of my favorite album covers. Like, I really want to get it printed on a poster and just have it on my wall. All 4 of them. But this is good. Okay. This is Jaco Pastorius. He is an electric bassist and born in Norristown, represent. I really like this album. It has some cheesy elements because I think it was 70s, late 70s. It's got a lot of synth in it, but like a lot of the pure bass tracks are really good. Like, I think everybody knows and loves Portrait of Tracy. I love that track. Every time I'm making a mixtape, I like to put it towards the end or the beginning as like sort of a transition. But also, like, I just love this cover. He's just like, you know, it's very barren, like toned down. Like, he's just wearing what I believe to be a black turtleneck, and it's just, I don't know, it's very classic. I mean, they probably only did this because it was low budget, but like, definitely suits the album. Alright. This one is the Velvet Underground self-titled. I'm not really into what I would call guitar music, like Rolling Stones. It just started raining, so if you hear that, it's just the rain outside. Rolling Stones, Beatles. I love Jimi Hendrix, but like, I don't know, it all kind of sounds the same to me, but I really like this album. My friend Julia actually showed this to me back when we were in high school, and I really liked it. My favorite tracks off of here are What Goes On, because that's a bop, come on, and I'm Set Free, and That's the Story of My Life. It's a good album. Alright, here's another recommendation off of this guy I contacted on Discogs. I'm gonna admit, like, this album has really lost me. It's really boring because, to me listening to it, this is Orbis Terrarium, I think. To me, listening to it is like kind of a chore because it's harsh and also slow. So there's like really nothing for me to hook onto, but I've only really listened to it a total of 2 times. I might take this with me on the car, and see if I can like really get into it again, cause like, I feel like if you listen to anything on repeat long enough times, you begin to like vibe with it. But I really like the album art on here, like just this optical illusion here. It's nice, and also the map, which I'm not sure what it's a map of. Alright, I usually don't like to, like as a rule of thumb, I don't like to get general releases on CD because I don't think there's any point, because I think the nicest part of getting physical copies is like you go to the store and you just find album that maybe looks good to you because sorry, I just spoiled what I'm about to show. It looks good to you because maybe you recognize the record label or the album art is striking to you. But I have a copy of Gio Gotti by Boards of Canada. This is the only Boards of Canada I really like. It's very dark. One time I was watching a BBC documentary about a Grindr murderer, somebody who would lure young men on Grindr and kill them in a graveyard. And this was in the background, and I was just like, whoa, how'd they get the rights to this? But I really love the album art for this too. And this is actually a small picture book, I believe. Or no, it's not. Sorry. But it's still pretty beautiful nonetheless. And my favorite tracks off of here are obviously Dawn Chorus, Gyroscope, I believe, and The Smallest Weird Number. Magic Window is just a blank track. And on the Japanese version, there is a bonus track that I really liked. I forget the name though. It's just a bunch of children talking about their ideas about God with just a very warm, rich synthesizer in the background. Yeah, but something I fuck with. We got this one. Peter Tchaikovsky. I'm a huge Tchaikovsky fan. I played violin a lot in high school, and we played Andante Cantabile. I think that's how you're supposed to say it. And it was just so, I don't know, it really drew tears out of me though. It's so beautiful. Not much to say about this in particular because it's just a recording of the orchestra playing Symphony No. 4 and also String Quartet No. 1. I really like his violin concerto. Like if you guys are classical music buffs, check out Joshua Heifetz's rendition of it, and also I believe Itzhak Perlman's rendition of his violin concerto. It's like just so difficult to play, but like that is like my favorite violin piece, I think. The violin concerto by Tchaikovsky. But you know, his string quartet is not bad either. I actually am used to hearing Andante Cantabile at a slower tempo, so it was really jarring when I heard the actual tempo. I don't know what my conductor was doing, but she made us play it slower. I guess it was a stylistic choice for her. Alright. And this is, I would call this music concrete field recordings. This is The Breadwinner by Graham Lamkin and Jason Lescalier. There's a lot of bathtub sounds in here. I once played this for my friend when she came over, and she was extremely freaked out. But I like this in the background when I'm working. Usually something more creative, because it is kind of creepy and I don't want to be in that headspace when I'm doing something technical. So, yeah, my favorite track on here is Lucy Song. Yeah. Only got a couple more for you guys. Alright. This one is just like a cookout album. I don't even think it's an album. Oh wait, it is. This is just a cookout. track, you know? Isaac Hayes' Hot Buttered Soul. Walk On By, obviously, that's the one everybody knows. Ooh, got my reflection in there. I really don't remember listening to all the other tracks on this album. There's only 3 more, but hey, Walk On By is really long, so. And everybody knows, right? Don't need to talk about it any further. This one is. I love this one. It's good for morning, relaxing. Ravi Shankar at the Woodstock Festival. So, Ravi Shankar, I believe he plays the sitar. He is a virtuoso on the sitar. And I'm pretty sure the Beatles did a couple of collaborations with him when they were still a band, or they were still a thing. I actually got introduced to him through the Apu trilogy, which is just this trilogy of films about this boy Apu's life, directed by a Bengali director. I believe his name is Satyajit Ray. And if I remember correctly, all of the music in the first movie of the Apu trilogy is done by Ravi Shankar. And he does everybody's theme music, because every main character has a theme. And I just like, and he does like the main theme of the whole movie. And I believe it appears in the beginning as very happy, and then like as tragedy hits the family that the movie is based on, it gets slower and slower and slower. It changes a little bit. I don't know. I really like his music, and he is really a virtuoso. And this is a live recording, but hey, what the hell. I also got this at Long in the Tooth. It's good stuff. We only got a couple more. Oh, I have another William Basinski album. I haven't really listened to this at all, so I can't say anything. It's called Garden of Brokenness. I believe, and it's released by 2062. I believe that's his record label, 2062, but I could be wrong. And then, last but not least, Guy Off Discogs recommended me this series. It's a compilation album released by a music magazine called The Wire, and the compilations are called Wiretapper. So this is Wiretapper number 12, and it's just got like a great like mix of music. I just listened to it the other day, and I was surprised. I've had this for like a year, and I haven't even touched it, but like it has a good mix of music. Off the top of my head, the tracks I really like are mostly on the second disc, actually, because I think I was more consciously listening on the second disc. So I really liked DJ Rupture, Little More Oil. I think I'm gonna purchase one of his albums now that I like hear this. It's got a little bit of reggaeton vibe to it, but it's like twisted a little bit. And let's see, AM/PM The Ends. I'm a big fan. So I think I'm gonna purchase those 2 albums now that I've heard them off this compilation. And I also purchased another Wiretapper just because this one was just so good. Like I would pop this in. It's like a mixtape made for you by a friend with really great taste. And I think that's about it for albums. They once every 2 months would make the most sense. I'm also starting grad school in the fall, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep up or if I'll be like purchasing things in that time period, whatever. But yeah, I hope to get more rap and R&B, and I also want to really get Modest Mouse albums too. The Moon and Antarctica and The Lonesome Crowded West are on the top of my list. And also I really want to get Amps for Christ, the Amps for Christ album, Circuits. So those are things I hope to have soon. If not, maybe I just go on Discogs and I find one album I like and just go through the guy's page and just buy some random shit and see if I like it or not. So Yeah. Oh, by the way, my setup is behind me over there. It is, I forget, it's an old Onkyo. I don't know what model, or I don't know off the top of my head. I bought it off of Craigslist. It's 70s style, so it's got that fake metal wood thing going on. I got two Boston Acoustics bookshelf speakers, which this lady on eBay shipped to me, and I guess the speaker foams were like broken or deteriorating, and I messaged her, and then she comped me the whole order, which is kind of weird, but like cool. I mean, yeah, and then I replaced them myself, so we're good. But I think I don't know if it was the fact that I did a shoddy job or just the fact that they're bookshelf speakers, but if I drive them above a certain volume, they just the mids just kind of like turn really grainy. And as my CD player, I have a PS2. Sorry, not PS2, PS1. I think it's not that bad looking. I actually like gray plastic looking things. I think they look cool. And it was cheap, it's convenient. I don't really need like a Marantz or something just to play my CDs. So